I will begin my story with a man. His name was Daniel Reed. I was a widow when this story began. I was living quietly, but my heart was not still. I had a large home. My fortune was secure. My companies were stable. My past was full, but my present was quite empty. I wanted something more. I wanted a human connection. I was tired of formal meetings. I wanted to feel life's simple warmth. I did not want to live out my years alone with only my memories. One day, I attended a community fundraiser. I almost did not go, but a friend insisted. "You will see old friends," she said. "Maybe someone there will make you smile again." That idea sounded nice. I wore a simple dress, comfortable shoes, and went. The room was full of people I mostly knew. I saw forced smiles, loud jewelry, and nervous glances. I felt detached. I chose a place near the wall and watched. That's when I saw him walk in. His name was Daniel Reed. He looked unsure. His suit was his best, and his eyes were sharp. He moved slowly, avoiding the crowds. People ignored him mostly. He didn't ask for attention, but he looked hopeful. I had seen him before. I had made it my business to learn about the young man I invited to dinner, a young man from a small firm, very ambitious. I don't know why, but I noticed him again tonight. Maybe because he was not busy trying to impress everyone. I walked over and asked, "Do you know anyone here?" He simply said, "No." I smiled slightly and stood with him. We spoke about unimportant things. He told me he was in sales for a small company. He listened, truly listened. That impressed me. Most young people do not listen, but Daniel did. We saw each other more and then more. I invited him to dinner, to concerts, to my home. People stared, they talked, but I did not care. I knew he had a plan. A woman like me could change his life. I had the money, connections, and no heirs. I knew that if he was smart, he could try to marry me and eventually he could have it all. Daniel was kind. He never asked about my wealth. He never asked why I liked him. He never acted like I was older. He treated me like an equal. At times he seemed guilty, but then I saw him think of his world, his small flat, his unpaid bills, and that guilt would fade. He brought me flowers. He phoned me every day. He said lovely things. He acted like he felt something deep. One evening, we were in a quiet cafe. I looked at him and said he made me feel young again. He nodded and took my hand. Then I asked, "Daniel, I know I am much older, but I enjoy your company. Would you ever consider something serious with someone like me?" He paused. This was his moment. He could have walked away or he could have stepped forward and changed his entire life forever. He said, "Yes." My eyes met his. I told him he did not have to pretend, that I am not a fool. I know how the world really works, but if there is a little honesty and kindness between us, perhaps it's enough. That line reached him. He smiled. I smiled. And in under 2 months we were married. Everyone in his life had a different opinion. His friends laughed at him. His ex-girlfriend sent him angry messages. Some thought him smart. Some thought him shameful. I did not care. He was now living in my big house with its big windows and my big car. I didn't give him money, but everything he used was of the best quality. Good food, nice clothes, fine linens, no more worn-out furniture or cheap items. His world had changed, but inside something was the same. He thought he would feel happy, but he did not. He thought he would feel victorious, but he did not. He thought he would laugh all day. But most nights, I knew he just looked at the darkness and thought, "Now what?" I didn't demand much. I gave him his space. I gave him my respect. I never raised my voice. I never made him feel inferior. Sometimes I made tea for him with my own hands. I would sit by the window to read, and he would just watch me quietly. I felt at peace. And slowly he started to see something he had missed. I didn't marry him because I was simply lonely. I married him because I still had some hope. Hope that maybe someone could care. Hope that maybe companionship could still blossom at any age. One night we sat outside on the balcony. I looked at the stars and asked, "Do you think people judge us?" He said, "Yes, but they don't matter." I smiled. "Maybe you're right. I am just glad I do not feel alone anymore." That night he could not sleep. Not because of shame, not because of worry, but because of his inner conflict. He had entered into this marriage with his plan. But now he was not sure what he truly wanted anymore. Was he really the one helping me, or was I the one saving him from himself? A marriage built on hope. The wedding was very quiet, just as I wanted. There were no showers of flowers from the sky, no loud music for people to dance to, no big displays or crowd, just some chairs in my backyard, one small table, and a nice woman holding the paper for us to sign. That was everything. I wore my simple dress. He wore a suit I had chosen for him. I looked calm, completely peaceful. He looked perfect from the outside. But inside, he was thinking about the future. Not the future with me, but the future he had designed for himself. A better life. A life where he did not have to worry about rent or his job. A life where he did not have to agree to every single thing he did not like. After we both signed the papers, I held his hand. I said softly that he looked nervous. He gave me a small laugh. "It's just the weather," he told me. I nodded and then said nothing more. We ate our lunch. We smiled for some photos. We thanked the small number of guests who came. Then our day ended. We did not leave on a honeymoon. I said, "I've traveled enough in my life. I just want to sit and enjoy the silence now." He did not mind. He moved into my home on the next day. It was a big home, very quiet, very clean. The floors did not creak. The kitchen had bright machines he did not know how to operate. His room had one large bed, warm lights, and one wall full of books. I gave him his space. I did not expect anything on that first night. I just gave him a pillow and said, "I hope you sleep well, Daniel." This surprised him. I think he thought I would ask for more intimacy, but I did not. Days went by. We ate dinner together almost every evening. I cooked our simple meals. We didn't speak too much, but I asked about his job, his pastimes, his dreams. He answered very carefully. He didn't want to tell lies, but he didn't want to show his whole truth either. Sometimes he seemed like he was playing a part in a film where the final scene was not yet written. One day I gave him a small card. It was for a good health club. I said, "You mentioned you liked working out, so I got this for you." He did not know how to respond. I was being thoughtful, not because I wanted to buy his affection, but because I wanted him to feel like a normal man. I knew he told himself again and again, "Remember why you're here. You married her for her money. You didn't marry her for real love. You didn't marry her to be a husband. You made a deal with your ambition. And this was just one step on the way to your dream life." But something inside him didn't stay still. I didn't ask him for anything major. No huge demands, no strict rules, no long lectures. I just kept on doing small things that made our life peaceful. He noticed how I always wrote thank you notes for people who helped me. He saw me spending my time with an old friend who just lost his wife. He watched me as I cleaned my bookshelf every Saturday with a quiet smile. These were not acts people did to appear good. These were just the simple habits of a kind person. Sometimes I would catch him looking at me. I would be sitting in my living room reading or knitting, and he would just watch, not with passion, not with love, but with a silent question in his heart. How did this woman become so peaceful in a world so full of noise? I did not have to give him the answer because he started to slow down. He still talked to his old friends. I knew some of them would laugh and say, "Living the dream, huh?" I knew others asked, "So, when will the real money come to you?" He would smile and give no answer because the truth was I had not given him anything just yet. I had not added his name to my main will. I had not given him my business shares. He still had no keys to my private office or my accounts. All I gave him was calm, food, and a lot of freedom. And for some reason, that made him feel restless. One morning, I said, "Daniel, let's open a joint bank account. It will make things easier." His heart jumped. Was this the moment? Was this the real beginning of what he had waited for? We went to the financial institution. I told the manager, "Keep the savings in my name. Just allow Daniel to use the joint account for personal needs." He smiled, but he felt a little strange. I was trusting him with some things but not giving away everything. He did not know if he should be happy or if he should be worried. Weeks turned into the passing months. He got used to my big house. He stopped worrying about money. He started reading some books he had never touched before. He watched me as I painted on Sunday mornings. He started enjoying long walks with me without checking his watch. One day I said, "You've changed, Daniel." He looked at me. In a good way, he asked. I nodded. "You look more at peace, and that makes me happy." He did not say anything, but inside my words stayed with him. He remembered how he used to think, get the money and leave and live his life. But now he did not know what he wanted. He did not love me, not in the way a young couple does, but he didn't dislike me anymore either. In fact, he now respected me. He enjoyed my company. He liked how I made him feel safe, never small. Was that a kind of love? He did not know. One night we sat on the porch. I asked, "Do you ever regret marrying me?" He looked at my face. I looked weary, but not unhappy. He said, "No, I don't regret it. I just didn't expect life to be like this." I smiled. Me neither. But sometimes unexpected things are the better things. That night he sat alone in his own room for hours. He thought about all his old dreams. The fancy car, the expensive watches, the big trips, the fame. He still wanted all of them, but now he also wanted something more. He wanted to become a man I would be proud of. Maybe this wedding didn't start with any love, but maybe it could now grow into something better. Maybe respect could slowly become care. Maybe care could become something very real. Maybe this life, even if it was so different from his plan, had something valuable for him. Not just my money, but a sense of meaning. The life he didn't imagine. 3 months passed after our wedding. I was still the same person, calm, good, and very quiet. I never had to raise my voice. I never had to ask too many questions. Every single morning, I made my tea and read the day's newspaper. Every single evening, I watered all the small plants beside the kitchen door. My own life was simple and he was now one part of it. But inside him, something was not at all simple. He used to dream of very loud things. Fast cars, big weekend parties, large crowds, and very expensive clothes. He thought that being rich meant being noticed. But my whole world was quiet. No performance, no extra noise. He had stepped into this life thinking that it was what he truly wanted. But now he was not so sure. I never gave him my lectures, But that just made it harder because now the only clear voice he heard was his own. And that one voice kept on asking, "What are you doing with your life here?" He had friends from his old life who still phoned. Some of them would laugh and say he was lucky. Others would say he had absolutely no shame. He didn't care much anymore about what they said, but he started caring about what he really felt. He had thought he would feel so proud. He had thought he would feel just like a winner, but now he just felt stuck. Not trapped here by me, but trapped there by himself. Every day started to feel the same. Peaceful, yes, but at the same time empty. I had my own special rhythm. I had my work meetings only once a week. I sometimes went to visit the library. I had joined a local book discussion club. I had many people who respected me. I had good things to do, but he didn't. I asked him only once, "Do you want to work again?" He had said, "No, not yet." I didn't ask him that again. He had plenty of time, but he didn't know what to do with any of it. He tried some reading. He tried to learn cooking. He even joined a gymnasium, but nothing really filled the space deep inside him. He felt as if he had stepped into a new life that looked very good, but did not actually belong to him. Sometimes he thought, maybe I really should have waited. Maybe I was too rushed. Maybe marrying Clara was quite smart, but it was not right. But then he knew she never made me feel small. She never reminded me that I was so much younger. She never made me feel like just a guest. That was what made everything much more confusing. One evening, I was sitting at the table, writing inside a notebook. He asked me, "What are you writing?" I said, "My memories. I write a little bit every week. It just helps me remember what really matters." He nodded his head. He wanted to ask me more, but he did not. Later that same night, he opened his old diary from years ago. He had written all of his dreams there. Things like, own a house, buy a sports car, travel the world, be respected. He read all those lines again and again, and then he looked around my quiet room. He already had a big house now. He had the clothes, the comfort, and the peace. But he still did not feel completely full. It was then that he realized a thing. He did not want my particular life, but he also did not want his own old life back. He wanted a life that had a real meaning, and he had not built one of those for himself yet. I came to his room on the next morning with some coffee. I said, "You seem so distant these days." He did not lie to me. He said, "I'm just thinking about what I want to do next." I gave him a gentle smile and I said, "Take your own time. I'm not holding you back." That single line stayed with him. I was correct. I wasn't holding him at all. He was holding himself. He started to help me with small things, calling the good plumber, checking some emails, organizing all my books. Slowly, he felt a little better. Not because he was very busy, but because he started to feel useful. He was not here just to take things. He was starting to give something of himself back. One Sunday, we were walking inside the park. I said, "People always think that happiness comes from having much more, but sometimes it comes from doing more for others or for yourself." He looked at me. That was my whole secret. That is why I was so very peaceful. I had built my own life by giving to others, not by grabbing. That day, he made a very quiet promise to himself. He would still follow his dreams, but not by just stepping over someone else. He would now grow, but slowly and with a real purpose. He would enjoy this one life, but with his own true effort. This was not the kind of life he had ever planned, but maybe, just maybe, it was the life he really needed. When his past returned, our life was becoming very calm. He had stopped his thinking too much. He was slowly learning how to live his life slowly. Daniel and I had finally found a good rhythm. We always spoke kindly. We shared our time. It was not love in the special way most people would expect, but it was a thing that felt good, peaceful, very easy, and very quiet. Then one day, his past knocked upon my door. It arrived in the form of a simple message. It was very short. "Hey, so you finally married the rich lady?" The name of the sender made his chest tighten. Lana, his old former girlfriend. The one that he had once really loved. The one who had walked out because he had no job, no good plan, and no bright future. She had left his life when it was tough. Now she was suddenly back typing as if they had just paused their last conversation. He did not reply to her right away, but her words stayed inside his mind. On the next day, another message from her came. "Want to meet for some coffee? Just to talk." He told himself it was just a simple coffee. He told himself there was no real harm. He told himself he was just a little curious. So he went. She looked just the same, very pretty, self-assured, and full of her own questions. "So Daniel," she had smiled. "You really went and did it. Married the big jackpot." He gave her a half a smile. She leaned herself back in her chair. "Is it real boring living with someone that is so much older?" He did not answer. Lana just kept on talking. She spoke to him of the past, of how they both once dreamed of being rich together. She laughed at how they once used to eat the cheap noodles and then talk about the big houses. And now she then said, "You're in one." He just nodded, but he did not smile. She asked him about me. He told her only all the basics. "She's kind. She gives me some space. Our life is very peaceful." Lana tilted her head. "And your love?" He had paused. "It's really different," he said. "But it's not at all fake." She raised one eyebrow. "You still do sound unsure." The whole meeting ended with her saying, "If you ever want to talk to me again, I'm around." He just nodded but gave her no promise. He came back home late that one day. I was sitting there on the porch. I looked up at him and smiled. "Long day?" I simply asked. He nodded. "Just met up with an old friend." I did not ask for more, but I knew something inside him felt very off. In the days that followed then, Lana kept on texting him. At first, he ignored all of them. Then, he replied to her once or twice. She made some jokes. She sent him photos from their past. She said some things like, "We had something that was real, didn't we?" And slowly he had begun to reply to her more often. It was not yet love. It was not quite cheating, but it was not quite right either. He began to then compare. Lana was very young, full of her energy, so playful. I was calm, very mature, and soft-spoken. Lana was very fun. I was very steady. He began to ask himself all the questions he had pushed far away. Did I choose my comfort over real love? Did I marry for all the peace or for some profit? One day, Lana had said, "If you ever want something real once again, you know just where to find me." He stared at her last message for a very long time. Then he put his own phone down. That evening, Daniel and I ate our dinner. I told him all about a book I was then reading. I told him all about my new art project that I had started. I smiled at him while I was pouring tea and he just watched me. I did not know what was going on in his own head, but he did. Later that long night, he sat all alone. He thought about all the choices he had made. He thought about the young person he used to be. He thought about the one man he was now becoming. Lana made him recall his past, but I made him face his present. He had one choice to make. One of his paths would lead him right back to his own old life. Fast, a little risky, full of many what-ifs. The other of his paths was here, so quiet, so honest, so slow, but full of something much deeper, something that he could not yet explain, but he could certainly feel. He picked up his phone and he deleted Lana's messages. Then he walked up to my room, knocked very gently, and then said, "Do you want to go for a nice walk tomorrow morning?" I smiled, a little bit surprised. Yes, I'd really love that. That night, he finally slept better. He did not know what his future would hold, but he now knew this much. Running all the way back to his past wouldn't really fix anything. He had made his choice when he married me, and now, for the very first time, he wanted to truly stand by it. Not just for my peace or for his comfort, but because he was at last learning who he was always meant to be. The moment when truth heals. The next few weeks were quiet once more. After he cut his contact with Lana, I saw he felt lighter. I did not know just what had happened, but something in his kind eyes told me he felt the great change. I did not ask him questions. I just stayed exactly the same, very kind and very calm. One evening, we sat on the porch just watching the whole sky grow much darker. I looked at him and then said, "Daniel, can I please ask you something?" He nodded. I paused. "Did you ever marry me only for the money?" His heart stopped then for a moment. He did not expect me to say it so directly like that. He looked at my whole face. There was absolutely no anger, just a deep softness. He did not lie to me. He said, "In the beginning, yes, I thought it would make my life easier." I took a long breath and then nodded my head slowly. "I always knew the truth," I said. "But I was just hoping that maybe one day you would stay, not because of all the comfort, but because of only me." That special moment broke something deep inside of him. I knew all of it, yet I had never once blamed him. I gave him all the time to become a much better man, and he had truly wasted some of that valuable time. "I am sorry," he said, "not just for our marriage, but for all of those moments he did not try nearly enough." I gave him a small, gentle smile. "I'm not ever angry, Daniel. I just wanted peace in your own heart. That's so much more important than any one paper we both ever signed." That night, he stayed up very late. He didn't watch any TV or just scroll through his phone. He thought about how very rare it was to find someone who just gave you all the space you need to grow. I didn't try to go and change him. I just gave him a good chance to change his own self. And he had finally started to. A letter for the future. One day, I was not feeling very well. I said it was only just a little bit of tiredness, but he noticed I was very slower than I was usual. I stayed in my bed and asked him for some warm soup. He made it for me, helped me to sit up, and then stayed very close. Over the following few days, I got weaker still. We went to see the good doctor. The checkup we had was long. At the very end, the doctor spoke to me all alone. When I came out from the office, I smiled at him just like everything was perfectly fine, but he knew it was not. That same night, I gave him a small and white envelope. "Don't you open it up yet," I said. "Only if something ever happens to me at all." He did not want to take it, but I placed it in his own hand and then I kissed his forehead. A few more weeks went by. I rested a lot more and talked a lot less. My own smile stayed, but I knew it looked very tired. One morning I had fainted while I was walking to the bathroom. He rushed me to the hospital. All the tests were done. So many words were spoken. Doctors all talked about my age and my health and all the risks. He sat right beside me while holding my own hand. I whispered, "Don't you be afraid. I'm at real peace." The next day I went into my surgery. It was really meant to be so simple, but during the medical procedure, something did go wrong. They all tried so hard to save me, but I didn't make it. He could not even speak. He could not even cry. He just sat there in total silence. When he finally returned back home, the whole house felt much colder. He walked into his own room and then saw the very envelope on his table. His hands shook as he opened the letter. Inside was a short final letter. Daniel, if you are reading this now, I am not there anymore, but I hope that you are okay. I knew why you once married me. I also knew that you were lost, but I never married you out of just fear. I married you just because I still believed in people, and I surely believed in you. If I ever gave you anything, I really hope it wasn't just my comfort. I hope that I gave you a whole new start. You are very free now, but I really hope you still do choose to grow, Clara. He sat there for a long time holding that one piece of paper. I was finally gone, but I had left him with something much more valuable than any money. I left him with some truth, with my trust, and a true version of himself he could finally be very proud of. What he really gained. Weeks passed by after my death. The house was now quiet, but this time it was a very different kind of heavy silence. I had once filled up the space with my soft music, my calm footsteps, and my small, kind little words. Now it was only just him sitting in my own chair, remembering the sound of my voice. People came to the whole house to offer him all their words. Some of the people were friends of mine. Some of them were people he didn't even know at all. Everyone had said the exact same thing. She was a very wonderful woman, and they all were right. A few short days later, my own lawyer called him up. I had made my final will many years ago. It was very simple. He was not at all surprised when he heard all the details. I had left most of my big wealth to many charities, my old friends, and all the people in real need. To him, I had only left the house, the car, and just one small letter. This last letter was not in an envelope. It was folded up neatly, just sitting on the big table when he entered my private office. Daniel, I do not want to leave you with only things. I want to leave you now with peace. You may well think you lost me, but I really hope you now finally find yourself. This whole house is now yours. Make it a good place of true kindness, not just for you living, but for you forgiving. He read the final letter 2 times. Then he sat in there alone, but he was not empty. For a very long time, he had always thought he wanted money, a lot of comfort, and a very easy life. He got most of that, but he had also received one thing he never even asked for. Time to finally understand his own self. He now knew what he had really lost. It was not just me. He had lost his one chance to love me the right way. He had wasted too much time pretending. And yet, I had still truly believed in him. That was the one part that really hurt the most, but also gave him his strength. He did not want to go right back to his own old life. He didn't want the exact same friends who had once joked about his own marriage. He did not want any loud parties or those fast cars. He wanted something so much slower, something very real. He had started to work once again. Nothing very big, just helping a very small company manage their many clients. He used the small money I left to keep the old house simple and very clean. He gave some to those places I had cared about, some libraries, some schools, some old age homes, and slowly he had begun to change. One evening he was sat in my old favorite chair. He closed his very own eyes and thought I married him knowing every single thing. Yet I gave him every single thing. That exact thought stayed with him for many days. He did not ever cry. He did not just break down. He did not really need to, because what he had surely lost was also what had helped him to become someone so much better. This was not just my story anymore. It was his now too. A whole story that had started with some greed but then turned into a real growth. A true story that began with only lies but ended with only truth. And maybe that was just enough. I chose a young man. So many years have now passed since I have left this world. The house is still the same now. The old porch chair I once loved is still just there. The many books on the bookshelf remain in their order. My old painting tools sit very quietly in the corner. He did not touch them very much. He didn't really want to. He liked them just where I last left them. But he himself has changed. People very often ask him now, "So you really did marry an older woman? Why?" Some of them ask him with some respect. Some people ask with a lot of doubt, some with just curiosity. His answer is still always the same. He will smile and say, "I married an old woman, but I found myself in the process." They all pause when they hear that single line because that line tells all the truth. His marriage to me began for the very wrong reason. He will not hide any of that. He wanted his own comfort. He wanted to just skip the real struggle. He thought that marrying someone so rich would truly fix everything. And in a new way, it did fix a whole lot, but not in the very way he had expected. I never once tried to change him. I never begged him for his love. I did not need any one person to complete me. I was already completely whole, but I gave him his own space to grow. I gave him all the time he needed to realize who he really was beneath all of his past confusion. I remember now how I used to always say, "People don't need to be perfect. They just need a chance to become better." At that time, it didn't mean very much to him. But now it surely means everything. After my passing, he built a new small reading center in my own name, the Clara Corner. It is open to everyone. Many old people come there to talk and to read. Young people come there to study and to ask their questions. He sits there sometimes and just watches from a good distance. Sometimes he will see the couples walk by while holding their hands. So many young couples full of so many dreams. And he will smile not with any jealousy but with his own peace because he had something really special too. Maybe it did not look like a great love story to many others, but to him it was much more than that. It was a true story of his own becoming. He did not become rich in the exact way he had first ever dreamed. But he became very rich in ways he never had imagined. He became so much calmer. He became so much honest. He became so very useful. He often thinks now about the early days, how he had planned out things, how he smiled then with a very fake heart. And then he will remember how I once looked at him even when I knew all the truth. I did not push him far away. I simply just believed he could truly do better. And that my belief changed him. Many people think that marrying an older woman is very strange. Some people say it is for the money. Some people say it is not at all real love. Maybe they are right about some cases. But every single story is different. In his own case, he married for his comfort, but he had stayed for true respect. He began with his greed, but he then grew into real gratitude. And in the very end, when I had left, I did not take anything at all from him. In true fact, I gave him so much more than he had ever given me. So now when someone asks him, "Do you regret it?" he says, "I regret not loving her sooner, but I don't regret loving her at all." He will still visit my old favorite places. He will still keep my final letter very safe, not to feel very sad, but to remind himself of what I once saw in him. Not the one man he was, but the great man he could always become. And that is the true gift that I gave him. My own faith in him. If you have a person in your own life whose belief has helped you change, what a gift that can be. True faith in another is a powerful thing. Does anyone truly change when someone else has faith in them? Or do we change for our own selves? That is a very good question.